see the whole world stand up tonight.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Pulling Back the Rug, where I am your host, Hope. And tonight, when I tell you, we are going to get into a subject that I'm sure everyone has dealt with or is dealing with. Tonight, I have with me such a special person, a great friend of mine, and we're just going to dialogue tonight. Can you all give a warm welcome to Miss Lisa on tonight?
Hey.
So look, we're going to get into this subject, okay?
I'm ready.
I have recently really been dealing with something, and I'm really trying to press past it. So I brought you on so you can help me, and I'm going to help you. And
Okay.
we're going to do all of that, okay?
Let's do it.
So let me ask you all that are watching, how many of you all have ever dealt with fear? I want you just to take a moment and just type in what you're struggling with when it comes to fear. What is your relationship with fear? Like, is this something you deal with or something you don't deal with? Me personally, Lisa, it has been rough.
Baby.
It has been really rough. I am, daily, weekly, stepping out on faith.
Okay.
And kind of creating my own path.
All right.
But every time I start to do something, here comes fear. So what is your take on fear?
So let me just tell you my experience.
Okay.
So I've been dealing with the whole fear thing for some years now.
Okay.
And what fear has been doing to me is it's been stifling me and keeping me in a stagnant space.
Right.
Not allowing me to move past. And it's not, and the thing about it is you got to get to the root of it. Why am I afraid?
Yes.
It's not just about the fear, but why am I afraid?
Right. What is that thing?
What is that thing?
Yeah.
Am I afraid because I'm afraid of failing?
Yeah.
Am I afraid because I'm not believing in myself?
Yeah.
Am I afraid because I don't understand who I am in God?
Yeah.
That's the bottom line,
Yeah.
right? And it stems from childhood hurt.
And it's crazy that you say that. So recently, I've been really trying to figure out what is going on because, like I told you, when I put one foot forward, it's like, here comes fear.
Yeah.
Walking hand in hand.
Yeah.
But speaking of childhood, I can remember being bullied as a child. And so it's like I developed a defense mechanism and I started to fight all the time to try to protect myself from being bullied.
Yeah.
So then I became the person that bullied.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like when it comes to my life now, I don't want to become a person like that to cope.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like, what do we do about fear?
First of all, let's just call it what it is. It's a bully. It's a bully. Pastor, one of our youth pastor, Pastor PJ, said that negativity is loud because it has to be that way
That's good.
in order for it to be seen.
Yeah.
But then our pastor said something else. She said you can kill one negative thought with 3 positive.
Yeah.
And that's the whole keeping my mind stayed on him so I'll be kept in perfect peace thing.
Yeah.
So when you feel it rising up, I've been telling that fear and I've been telling all the other stuff that tries to come along with it. I forgive my past.
Yeah.
I forgive the trauma.
Yeah.
I forgive myself for waiting so long to move forward.
Yeah.
And it's really been helping me. Like you've got to get to a space where you know what speaking your affirmations is. That's my
Daily.
affirmation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And you got to speak them daily.
daily.
And I mean, like, that's what I've been finding myself doing, speaking positivity to me because I didn't understand how deep it was.
Oh, yeah.
So what I recently realized was, you know how it is, like on Halloween, if something scares you, you jump.
Yeah.
And people automatically say, oh, you got the spirit of fear. No, that's not the spirit of fear. That's just fear for the
It's
moment.
just right. That's just a
But
sudden
the
fear.
spirit of fear is when you become one with that thing and you wear that thing like a coat. And so I have been cheated out of so many things because I was afraid.
Yeah.
Afraid of what people was going to think.
Yeah.
Afraid of what people was going to say. Afraid if I would do good.
Yeah.
Afraid if I would do bad. Just scared.
And that's trauma.
Yeah.
That's experience on you. Because why do you care about what people say? How people feel?
Yeah.
Because God created you uniquely and wonderfully, right?
Yeah.
So why should I be concerned about what somebody else thinks of me? You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
But this world is so programmed into believing the worldly system, how things are going. But God said we have to be in the world, but not of it.
Yeah.
So that means understand who you are.
Yeah.
Understand your superpower and understand that there's nobody that can do it like you can do it.
But what would you tell a person who may not be in God, who
Yeah.
may not be in church, who still may be struggling with fear, though?
You don't have to be in church or have to be in God to love you.
That's it. Yeah.
Perfect love casts out fear.
Yeah.
Love you. That's what the Lord told me a long time ago. He said how you stifle the devil is to love you. Because if you love you, you're going to do what's best for you.
Wow. Let me ask you all that's watching right now, how many of you all have ever felt like you could love everybody else, but when it comes to loving you, you cheat yourself?
Yeah,
Because that's something that's so easy to do.
it is.
And in talking about fear, let me just tell you what I realized.
Come on.
And I promise this thing, it checked me so good. So I was talking to God and I'm like, I need to get past this fear. I need to start doing things boldly with confidence. And I'm like, I don't want the spirit of fear. I don't want to wear that.
Right.
You know what I realized, Lisa? It's not even the spirit of fear for me. My issue is control. A lot of times we say we have the spirit of fear, but what I realized is
It's mad.
I was fearing what I can't control because I control everything. So if God tells me to go left and I control right, I'm comfortable going right.
Because you don't know what's left.
Because I don't know what's left. I can't control what's left because I can't see what's coming left.
Yeah.
So when he began to show me that, I'm like, oh, a lot of us may just have control issues.
Yeah.
Because we think being controlling, it has to do with another person.
Yeah.
But what about if you're controlling with yourself?
With your own self.
You stifling your own self from doing, from being,
What
because
you
you
do.
want control. That thing blew my mind. And when I really started thinking about it, I'm like, that's deep.
Yeah.
Because when God says to step out on faith, and even talking about this show, I want you to do it.
Right.
I'm like, okay, I can do it from my living room because I control the narrative. But then when the opportunity was presented and God said, no, do it this way.
Okay.
Now it's like here comes fear.
Right.
Because I can't control
You can't
that.
control that.
Because I don't know about
And
it.
what if? And what happens if? It's those ifs when you lose control. It's those ifs that try and stifle you and that try and put you inside of a box.
Yeah,
But it's time to break forth and forget about all that.
it is. It really, really is. I've had conversations with so many people who are dealing with fear to the point where here comes fear's brother and sister, anxiety,
Baby.
high blood pressure. Because a lot of times fear, that anxiety and all of that, it make you sick.
It does.
I didn't realize how bad I dealt even with anxiety because I couldn't control what was going on.
Wow.
I want to be in control of my life.
But why?
How many of you all have ever been at that point? And right now, Lisa just said, but why?
But why?
Ask yourself, but why? Why do you have to be in control? Why do you have to know everything when God says he is the way? He's the way. So are we really walking in his way or our way? Like when he began to show me that, like, I'm really curious as to, have I really stepped into the fullness of my life?
Oh, you just scratched the surface, baby. You ain't seen nothing
Like,
yet.
I'm so seriously. Because if I'm so busy making my own way, my own path,
you prevent him from doing it.
he can't do what he needs to do for us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I really want to dig into fear. So let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Give an example of how fear stifled you.
So, okay. I was thinking about this the other day. As a little girl, I always wanted to be a singer.
Okay.
That was just one of my dreams. But
And
life
you can
happened.
sing. And can.
Life happened, right? Situations happen, trauma happened, and you know when life happens, it's like it attaches itself to you.
Yep.
Anxiety, like you said, fear, resentment, and as a kid I picked up jealousy. As a kid I picked up comparing myself.
Wow.
You understand me? Because of the situations that I was in.
But why jealousy?
Let me tell you, because my mom favored my sister.
Wow.
Okay, so all of these things I dealt with. But even though I picked up those things, it comes a point where you got to watch yourself and no longer blame your story.
Wow. Because it's easy to.
Because it's easy. You got to watch yourself and you got to understand when it stopped being the story and start being you.
Wow.
Because if you keep consenting
that's
to
good.
it,
That's good.
you can never be healed from it, right? And I'm like, God gave me that revelation. So I'm like, okay, God. So if it's me, then what I need to do, get me out the way, right?
Wow.
I said, because I still desire to be a singer. It's still my dream.
Yeah.
So tell me what to do. Then I got a call from your son talking about what I should do and how I should come and audition. I said, listen, Lord, I'm ready.
And he had no clue.
He had no clue the conversation that me and God had.
Wow. So that's what I'm saying. Like, when we allow God to make our pathway clear,
He opens up
he
stuff
opens
so quickly.
up doors. He gives you favor with people, like things that you would never expect.
Yes,
God does.
He does.
And so, like, you're talking about being a singer, that's your dream. And you became jealous, and, you know, you took on your story. Mm-hmm. That's crazy because so many people become one with their story.
And you can't.
Wow.
You can't help what you had to go through,
Yeah.
but it is your job to get out of it.
Wow. That alone just, because we're so busy saying, but this happened to me, that happened to me.
But me.
But this. One, we don't take accountability for what we did
Yeah,
in the story.
end the story.
Because, yeah, things do happen, you know, where you are a victim
Yeah,
to a point.
to a point. Yeah.
But there comes a time where you can no longer be that victim.
and you gotta
Triumph over it.
come on.
Like, you know, and it's easy.
It
It's
is.
easy to say, oh, I went through this. This person did that to me. But you're cheating yourself of a life that you could have, like you said, constantly reading a story that's gone from the chapter you're talking about.
That's been gone. Because guess what? The person that did it to me, dead and gone. They can't fix it.
Wow.
But that's why he said we got to lift our eyes unto the hills. Our help comes from him.
Yeah.
God washed me, purged me of this remembrance. Because it's the remembrance of a thing.
But what happens when the person that caused your fear, your anxiety, is no longer here? Then what?
You got to forgive.
Wow.
You got to forgive.
So you even got to forgive when that person is in the ground.
You got to forgive. And I didn't even realize I had not forgiven. That's
Yeah.
the big part. I had to forgive my mother. I had to forgive myself for staying in it so long. And I had to forgive the Lord for my story.
How do you forgive? How do you forgive the Lord?
And see, so many people be so caught up on not, oh no, I can't be mad at God. Yeah.
But you got to be real. If I'm mad, I'm mad.
You gotta be real. Lord, that hurt.
Yeah.
And then my pastor, she said to me, she said, if you're constantly saying why, because I was even asking, I said, Lord, why did that have to be my story?
Yeah.
She said, if you constantly asking why, then you'll never grow. Because what if you never get the answer?
That's crazy that you say that, because the first thing we do when people hurt us
Just ask why.
we ask why, and then we immediately blame God.
Mm-hmm.
We act like we don't, but especially if something happened to you, like in church or whatever,
Yeah.
the first thing you say is, well, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. Now, God ain't do it to you.
God didn't do it.
But we treat God as if
As he's a
he has
person.
done something to us. So like you said, you had to, ooh,
Honey.
how do you forgive God? Like that statement alone, like I had to forgive. What? Please explain
A
that.
whole cry out. Like from my soul cry out.
Yeah,
Like, God, I understand in my story is going to be your glory and somebody else's triumph.
yeah,
Because that means that I'm going to, if I triumph over this thing, that means I'll have the tools necessary to help somebody else out.
yeah,
We got to understand that our story was not to cripple us, but to make and mold us and shape us for somebody else to understand that he is.
exactly.
And if I can get past myself, if I can get past all the sting of it, because that's what it is. The enemy tries to bring the sting back
Yeah.
up. Because if it's no longer there, what am I feeling? I'm feeling the remembrance of it.
Yeah,
He tries to bring the sting in. But God, if you can core out that sting, and if you can if I can keep my mind on you.
Ooh, let me address you all that are watching real quick, because I mean, this thing is, how many of you all have ever felt like God had forsaken you? So much to the point where you had to go back and say, God, I'm sorry. And it sounds weird because you said I had to forgive God, but you really had to say, God, listen, you didn't do that to me. You allowed it, but I know you love me.
Yeah.
How many people have ever been that? Because see, we act like we have it all together.
We don't.
We be shaking in our boots,
Baby.
from stuff that we have went through, are going through, and we act like we have it all together. But on the inside, we got anxiety. On the inside, we dealing with ailments from
Yeah.
stress. Because we
Baby.
stress out trying to keep up this facade like things are not bothering us. But when fear becomes one with you,
You
it
take
takes
ownership.
over everything.
Every aspect of your life. I dealt with that anxiety so bad. Girl, let me tell you. I dealt with it so bad I couldn't sleep.
Wow.
I dealt with it so bad I had an anxiety attack in the middle of driving. My husband was driving. Girl, I jumped out the car because I couldn't breathe and
Jesus.
ran. When you don't cleanse yourself, like, okay, so fear is the beginning, right? Or say disappointment is the beginning, or say stress is the beginning. If you do not cleanse yourself of that, if you don't lay it on his altar, if you don't say, God, take this from me, God, admit what's happening, because you flesh.
Yeah.
I'm going to fear sometimes.
Yeah.
You flesh. You're going to get disappointed sometimes.
Yeah.
Lord, I'm going to lay this on your altar.
But see, this is why I started Pull Back the Rug, because we sweep so much under. I mean, we sweep our feelings,
Yeah.
our emotions. We sweep it. We never clean it out.
Yeah.
So what happens is, just like with a rug, all that dirt, all it
Piles
does
up.
is fest. It just pile and pile and pile until when you finally flip it back, you got so much clutter and dirt under there. And you're like, how did this get like this? But I started this because people need to know that it is okay if you're struggling with something.
It's okay.
It's okay if you're dealing with fear.
Yeah.
Because guess what? You don't have to stay in fear.
You don't.
You just got to figure out a way to combat it.
And what is your way? You got to, like you said, you got to figure out how to. Mine is to say the affirmations when the remembrance comes up. And the enemy used to play it like a commercial in my mind. Like I would think of something that happened in the past and he would play it like a commercial.
Yeah.
You have to know what your weapon is.
Well, I'm going to tell you what my weapon is, and I didn't realize it. So every time that I get really afraid, I take my phone and I look at my face. The weirdest thing. But I started to do that maybe like 3 or 4 months ago.
Okay.
And I'm like, why are you looking at yourself? Because every day I remind myself of who God sees, not what I see.
Not what you see. Yeah.
And every time I look, I'm like, God, okay, show me what you see. Because we are so hard on ourselves. And if we allow the enemy in, the enemy will show us all of the,
all
everything.
of the filth.
Yeah.
All of the falsities.
Yeah.
Because the bottom line is you are who God created you to be.
Yeah.
You know, like the things that you had to endure and all of those things, that's a mask that can be pulled off.
Yeah. Wow.
And it can be burned up.
It can be burned up. Right now, I want you all to type in, and we're going to go back and we're going to literally dig into what you're putting down. We're going to have questions about it.
Okay.
Maybe you come back and we have questions about it.
Okay.
Put down what your fears are. We're going to pray for them.
Come on.
Because if people will come together and pray against the very things that we're afraid of, strength on numbers.
All it takes is 2 or 3.
That's all it
That's
takes.
it.
And things will begin to change. But the thing is, we play on people's fears. Now let's get into that. Because I told somebody what my fear was.
Okay.
The very thing that I told them what my fear was, they played on it. So much to the point where it put me back into a shell. Because I'm like, here it is. I have somebody that's understanding where I'm at.
Right.
They're sympathetic to where I am. They're going to help me come out. And the very thing that I told them, they used that against me. So that thing was even greater. But I had to realize, even in that can't be an excuse for me not to do and become
Who we called you to be.
Because it's somebody else that's watching.
Yep.
Everything that we're doing, everything that we go through, there's somebody that's going through the same thing.
Yep.
So like you said, you had to forgive somebody that's in the ground.
Yeah.
So how has that been now? Now that you've forgiven, now that you're in a different space, what did you do to get there?
Now that I've forgiven, now that I've let it go. And let me say this. The enemy loves to make us abort God's mission. And the way he does that is he tries to plant seeds in those that are around us.
Yeah.
Because are you really going to pay attention to somebody you don't care about?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if somebody that you didn't care about came and said, listen, I know you're afraid of moving forward.
Yeah.
You stupid.
Yeah.
You're not going to care about that because who are you? I don't even know you. But if it's somebody that understands you and somebody that you've given your secret to,
Yeah.
and then they play on it, it's all to make you abort your mission in God. It's all to make you not see
So how do you
yourself.
get to the point where you trust?
You got to put blinders on. You know how Jesus told Peter he bidded him to come. Before he looked down, he was able to walk on the water. You can't knock out the chaos.
Yeah.
Don't look at what's around you. Keep your eyes focused on him.
Wow. I literally, fear literally tried to consume me. And I didn't know what to do. But when I tell you, singing, being around people that I know love me,
Yeah.
finding positive things to look at became the very thing that saved my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that's why I'm in now. I'm doing things that make me happy.
Yeah. And it shows.
Look, I'm trying.
Baby, it shows.
I'm doing things because I only have one life to live.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And anything outside of that, how people feel about me ain't my business.
It ain't your business. Mind your business.
I just literally got to do what I know I was put here to do, whatever that is. So I'm to the point now, I want to give people a platform. Let's talk about it. Let's have dialogue about fear. Because right now it's somebody who was hiding from being fearful because everybody says God has not given us the spirit of fear. God has not. That's true, but that does not mean I don't have scary moments.
Right.
I still do.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I'm to the point now where I'm just like, okay, God, it's your world. It's your world. I'm just in it. It's your world. Do what you want to do with me or whatever. And that's why I'm so happy that you're here, because I've watched you, like, even just when I first met you, kind of like evolve into who you are now. So let me ask you this. So now that you've pressed past fear, are you going to go ahead and sing?
I'm going to do it.
Because you said,
I'ma do it.
You said you were a singer.
I'm going to do it.
And now look, I met you singing.
You met me singing. Yeah.
But at what point did you stop though?
When I stopped believing in me. When I start taking ownership of the noise in my head. The little whispers, telling me what I couldn't do and what if I wasn't good enough. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, it's people beat themselves up so much. We got to understand that we're flesh. We're fleshly beings. Yeah. We're human. Yeah. We're going to have emotion, right?
But did you ever get to the point where you felt like your voice wasn't enough?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I was just there.
You sing with so much power, though.
Girl, I was just there. Stop playing with me.
Wow.
I was just there.
So what do you do?
Worship leader at my church. I was just there. I would get up, and instead of being who God called me to be, I was trying to be what I thought I needed to be.
Yeah.
We got to stop taking ownership of what we think we need to be and say, God, like you said, let me see myself.
Yeah.
The way you see me.
Yeah.
In my authentic state.
Yeah.
Whatever that looks like.
Flaws and all.
Whatever that means.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. See it, deal with it. Yeah.
And move on.
Yeah. Because we like to see it and stay.
And take ownership of it. And that's when the homies like to come along with it. You want to take ownership of the fact that you're not believing in yourself. Oh, well, here comes sadness. Oh, wow. Here comes depression.
Yeah.
Oh, here comes that. It's coming stronger than what you let in and what you allowed to sit there.
Wow. Would you believe every week the homies come and knock on my door?
Every week.
Every week.
Every week.
Every week to do this show, the homies knock on my door. And for you all who don't know what the homies are, that's fear, like you said, doubt, self-doubt.
Yeah.
Low self-esteem, try to creep in.
Yeah.
But here come the homies. But I conquer it every week because I show up.
Every week.
Show up.
Show up. My pastor just did a sermon, let me tell you. She said darkness is nothing but a canvas waiting to be painted on.
That's it.
That's it.
I show up.
You show up for yourself. You wet your brush.
Yeah.
You dip it in your paint and you start painting.
Yeah.
Because nothing beats a failure but a try.
And the thing is, don't go out of your way to make your canvas look like everybody else's.
Make it look like you.
It's okay to be unique.
Like you.
And I'm still learning that. It is okay for Hope to be Hope. It's okay for Lisa to be Lisa.
Yeah.
And I can remember, and I don't know if you remember this, we did a show. And It wasn't a lot of people at the show, but you was singing Bravo.
Yep.
And it was a young lady in that audience.
Yeah.
And you was singing Bravo, and you forgot about Bravo. And you began to sing to her. And she began to weep.
Yeah.
That's why we got to be okay with being unique.
Yeah.
Because what you got, I don't have. And what I have, you don't have.
But
it
everybody's
all
important.
works.
Everybody's gift is important to flow.
It is. And right now, type in, I am important. What you got is important.
And I'm enough.
Nobody can do what you do.
I'm enough.
Nobody
Yeah.
can do what you do.
Yeah.
And so that's why every day that I get up, I say, not today, fear. Because I used to say that I deal with anxiety really bad. Now I'm saying anxiety tries to deal with me really bad. Because I don't have that.
Don't take ownership of it. Lay it at his feet. I'm leaving this with you.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't ask for this. It was just the cards that were dealt to me. So I'm gonna lay it at your feet.
Yeah.
And if I gotta keep laying it at your feet, that's what I'm gonna do.
Because you got something that nobody else has. There's not another Lisa.
Ain't another hope neither, baby.
Yes, ma'am. It is not.
It's not.
We are definitely different in our own right.
Yeah.
And that's why I know it was nothing but God that it was you to talk about fear.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I was very candid about what I'm afraid to do and how I don't want to do. And that's why I always stay in trouble. I stay in trouble because God will tell me something to do. And I'm like, no,
Yeah.
I don't want to do that.
We got to stop taking ownership of the emotion and take ownership of who God is. God will
Emotion will mess
not.
you up.
God will not. He will not bombard himself in your life.
That's it.
He will not make you do what he's called you to do. You have to make the decision.
And it's crazy that you said that about bombarding, because when I was growing up, I used to hear people when they would pray, they would say, I'm going to bombard heaven. One thing about it is we don't have to bombard something that belongs to us.
It belongs to me.
Heaven and earth, it's God's.
Yeah.
And God is with us. It belongs to him.
It belongs
and
to
so
him.
I don't have to force myself.
I just got to open my heart.
Just open my heart
I just
up.
got to open my heart to receive whatever he want to do, whatever he wants to give me, whoever he's called me to be. I just got to open my heart up.
So what's next for Lisa?
So I'm going to go after my dream of being a singer. I am. I've written some books. I'm stepping outside of my box. And I'm asking the Lord for guidance and direction, but I'm ready. I'm ready.
So, I mean, like, how long did your preparation take?
Baby, I'm 48.
You 48?
I'm 48.
But look at you, though.
I'm 48.
Wow.
And where the enemy will try and play on time, God can maximize anything.
So, I'm going to pause you right there. Because there's somebody right now, and I do mean right now, that is struggling with time. You feel like you're too old, that your time is up. You feel like, I can't do it, I missed it. Oh no, every day is a brand new day.
Hello?
Every day
Every
you
day.
can start again. Every
day.
single day.
Every day.
So I like that you said that,
Yeah.
because we do feel like we're racing against time. But look what you just said. You got singing to do,
Yep.
books to write.
Yep.
Don't forget ministry, because we didn't even say that, because when I asked you how you wanted me to introduce you, you said Lisa. Because even with that, we get so caught up with the titles
Yeah.
that we were given until we neglect who we
The
are.
authenticity of who you are and who God is in you.
Because I'm not my title. That's a title.
It's just a title.
That's what I am. That's what I do. That's a job.
Yeah.
That's what I have to be to other people.
Yeah.
But I'm hope to hope.
Yeah.
And that took me a long time to learn that, Lisa.
Yeah.
I got to be good to me like I'm good to everybody else.
Ooh, baby, you better leave some for you.
And I can't be afraid to be good to me.
Yeah.
And I can't be afraid of the backlash I'll get from being good to me. Because, backlash come with being good to you.
Oh, yeah.
People, you think you this, you think you that. But it was okay when I was doing it for you.
Right. But I can't take care of me. I can't
So
love
we
me.
become fearful of being good to us. We deserve it.
Exactly.
We deserve it. I encourage you to do it.
I'm
You
doing
gotta
it.
don't forget about me, okay, when you blow
Oh,
up.
I ain't forgetting about you.
Don't forget about me when you blow up because I know that you have power.
It's all God.
Like I said, when I first met you, you were so just authentic, regardless to whatever you was going through. You was just so open and so genuine.
Yeah.
And it has been that way. And one thing, I do want to say this to the audience, to everybody that's watching, because everybody is not anointed to even see you.
Girl.
There are some
Yeah.
people who can only see what they want to see.
That's it.
But there is a group of people who will see you regardless to if you ever show them or not. They're going to see you.
Mm-hmm.
So while everybody else is saying, oh, you're a bad person, there's going to be somebody that comes around and say, I see the good in you.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody who say, oh, that person ain't nothing. There's going to be somebody that come along and say, oh, I see you doing this.
Yeah.
And they're going to pour into you. So do not be afraid to trust people.
Yeah.
I just told you that. We just had a brief conversation about that. I was afraid to trust people because of what I went through with people.
Yeah.
But you'll miss out like that.
You'll miss
I would have
out.
missed out on Lisa.
You'll miss out. Share yourself with me, baby.
I would have really, really missed out because
Yeah.
I put myself in a box because I'm afraid. And one thing I can say within the last year, the people that God has connected me to have been people that really love me. And so I just want to thank you for loving me.
I love you, honey.
I do. I want to thank you for just being your authentic self. And you can always come and pull a rug back with me
You know I will.
because, I don't sugarcoat.
Yeah.
We could talk about anything. And I really hope that you all listen to what Lisa said. Even if the person you need to forgive is in the ground,
You got to do it for you.
do it for you. Do not be afraid of anything.
You know what I want to say, though? Not just for you. Do it for the ones that's coming after you.
That's good.
Because what you don't conquer, they'll have to deal with. What you sweep under the rug, they'll pick up.
And with that being said, if there is anything that you are fearing, remember there is somebody who is greater than anything you could ever be afraid of.
Yeah,
If you don't know him, get to know him.
that's right.
Whatever your it is, get to know God. I promise he can solve every problem.
Yes, he will.
Again, Lisa, I thank you.
Thank you
for
for
pulling back the
having
rug
me.
with me. And as I end the show, as I do every single week, there are a million reasons to love, but there should never be a reason for you to hate. This has been Hope, and this has been Pulling Back the Rug. See you all next week. Peace.
All I really want is to see the whole world stand up tonight. Oh, you're celebrating life. It don't matter who you are. If you've been working hard, give yourself a round of applause.
Bravo.